Say the words, my friend.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Those words.
go.
Welcome to Gain That Tune.
Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune back in the motherfucking house. It's your boy John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got Jesse Moore rocking that Mad Santa hat. Say hey.
Hey.
What? Oh, man. It's gonna be a good show tonight, man. If you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, I mean, seriously, you shouldn't be just joining us by, at this point. It's episode 91. We're going to listen to video game music. We're going to we've got 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess the games based on the songs and a little bit of trivia. Goof off, have fun, talk shit. Winner at the end of the night plays some bonus tunes and picks the theme for the next episode. And it was David that won last week. And David, what is the fantastic theme that you came up for this, our 91st episode of Game That Tune?
Well, since Game That Tune is now in its 90s, I figured we should go with games from the 90s.
Hell yeah. That is almost too good of a theme. We don't usually we don't usually just have like fantastic alley-oop themes like this. So, for a special occasion, I looked up and I've got just a rundown of pop culture from the 90s, starting way back in 91. I mean, seriously, 91 was pretty awesome, man. You had, the release of the Game Gear, Sega CD, Super Nintendo, the Philips CDI, which we were all fans of. Hot Christmas items that year, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures, Rollerblade Barbie. Ring any bells? I'm talking to you, Johnny.
Yeah. This is checking all my boxes right now.
Yeah. Super Soakers, Connects, a little game called Myst.
Ooh.
And now let's go the political arena. The dissolution of the USSR and the resignation of Mikhail Gorbachev.
Ooh.
And Boris Yeltsin assuming leadership in Russia. You know what I'm saying?
Those were fun times. Fun times.
Number one song on the pop charts that year. Everything I Do It For You. From who? Bryan Adams.
Wow.
Top movies of the year. A little movie called The Greatest Action Movie of All Time, Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Still haven't seen it.
You fucking suck
so bad. Are we still going to get Bryan Adams to call in? I don't remember.
Yeah, we're going to get him for our Robin Hood Prince of Thieves podcast. Because, oh man, it's going to be so good. You know what minimum wage was back in 91? It was $4.25 per hour.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, we've come a long way. Shit, man, the world population was only like 5,304,000,000. Life expectancy in the United States was 72 years for men and 78.9 years for women. And, unsolved mysteries told the worried nation of a mysterious hum being heard by the residents of Taos, New Mexico. All that in 1991.
Are we going to go through 1992 year?
No, what? No, we're not doing that. That's way too much stuff. No.
Come on, we got time, right?
No.
Game 1.
Okay, fuck it.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Not bad. So, who is needing a little bit of trivia on
Oh,
this
definitely.
Just a little bit.
one? Just a little
I'm not
scooch
sure.
of that triv. So, let's see. In this game, the player can shoot diagonally as well as flip upside down and go backwards. Mechanics that are uncommon in many shoot 'em ups.
Hmm.
So, how are you guys feeling on that?
Not great.
I am feeling good because I'm pretty sure I got the company from the music, and then the genre let me know the game.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Johnny, how you feeling?
I'm writing something down. It's not a drawing of a penis.
Sure it's not, John. Sure it's not.
It's very wrong, but
let's see. John Regan says Kid Icarus, which is incorrect. Jesse says Darius Twin, also incorrect. And David Fleming, he's got it, man. It's Tailspin.
Nice job.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
oh yeah. Let's all do the Tailspin theme.
Friends for life through thick and thin with another tailspin.
woohoo!
Tailspin. I think that was how it went.
That's probably
man.
right.
Man, oh man, I loved the cartoon Tailspin. You know what I don't care for very much? The NES game Tailspin. Who here's played Tailspin, man?
I think I played a Sega Genesis version of it. I don't remember playing an NES version of it. I don't know if they're the same game or not.
They are not. This game came out for several systems, and I believe only on the NES and possibly on the Game Boy was it a shoot 'em up. On the other ones, it was a 2-player platformer where you get to play as Baloo and what was his friendly little cub friend's name? Trivia.
Diddy?
Diddy.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Diddy Bear.
Diddy Bear.
Something Cunningham, because Cunningham was the name of the family, but I don't remember the kid's name.
Kit?
Yeah, dude, the bear was Kit Cloudkicker, and his mother was Rebecca Cunningham for some reason. Tailspin was a weird show, man.
Yeah, I just remember it being like not the Jungle Book, but using all of the characters from the Jungle Book, but then having new characters. Like there was a wolf air pirate for some reason.
Yeah, Don Carnage. I mean, come on. That's a great name for an air wolf. I do believe it had to be in the opening credits of the show. Baloo throws a pineapple through the propellers of the Sea Duck, and it hits Don Carnage in the snout. Like, come on, that's classic cartoon comedy right there.
Like,
Wasn't he
it was
Cajun too?
perfect.
Probably. I would have thought German, but I don't know. Man, yeah, Tailspin. The Adventures of Baloo, constantly pantsless.
That's how he rolls.
His cool little friend Kit, who had that sick ass thing. It was like it was like a fan board that you could fan out and then like sky surf behind the plane, which I thought was the coolest shit, and obviously would never work. Like,
Yeah, he
sounds-
would get fucked.
It sounds very dangerous.
yeah, no, especially for like a little kid. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna grab this like ski rope behind this giant seaplane, and the little metal pipe plate on my feet will keep me in the air. Like as a kid, that made sense to me. As an adult, I'm like, I got a baby on the way. I can't let them try to go sky skiing behind an airplane. That's insane. No,
I mean, how fast
riding
is that
up front
plane
with me.
going? That plane's gotta be going like what, 150 miles an hour minimum?
And what are the aerodynamics of that little footboard? Like, because I've jumped out of a plane. You feel a very quick sense of falling. So
Well, that's because you didn't have the little like telescoping airfoil.
Yeah,
if you had
exactly.
that, you could have done some sick ass tricks.
I'm saying, man, that kid was so X Games, man. He predicted the extreme sports craze of the 90s.
And this was before Disney even bought ESPN.
Exactly. He wasn't even advertising anything. Like, it was just being really cool.
Did the X Games exist before Tailspin?
No.
Okay, so I think it stands to reason that Tailspin directly helped influence the creation of the X Games.
Yes.
Obviously.
Well observed, John. Please do a deep dive into all the connections between Tailspin and the X Games.
Nope,
Because
that's it.
the air sports part of the X Games was such a big part of it. They definitely didn't eliminate that and go with just skateboarding and fucking bicycle tricks after a while.
Bare necessity.
Not initially.
Yes, the X Games bare necessities.
See?
You know
Things
what?
with
Okay.
wheels.
This is gonna go off on a slight tangent.
Hooray!
As if we haven't gone on one
What were
already.
we just doing?
Yeah.
You know what always threw me off about this show? So you've got Kit, right? And he's a bear.
Oh,
and he has that
Tailspin.
like-
I thought you meant our show.
I gave it a tune. I've been thrown off for 90 episodes or so.
So you've got Kit, and he's a bear, and he has that little like tuft of hair, which makes sense because he's a bear, he's furry. That little part is just outgrown. And then you've got his mom, who has like a full, complete, separate hairstyle of a completely different color. Like, where does that hair come from?
Wig.
Yeah.
Did she just like grow more of her fur and then dye it and style it? Is it a wig?
It'd be great if it was just a different wig every episode. Like, Rebecca Cunningham is a vain woman, and she spends all her shipping money on wigs. I don't know. That's a very good question.
It's just, I mean, even as a kid, I remember watching the show like, wait a minute, because Baloo, same thing, like just a little tuft of like fur, and then
Baloo's
she has
just
full
Baloo.
complete hair.
It's Baloo with a shirt and a hat, so we know how he looks.
Flying planes and talking, that's all good. But as soon as you start fucking with your hair, my disbelief goes out the fucking window.
That's madness. And where did King Louis even get that Hawaiian shirt? He's an orangutan.
Oh yeah, I remember. There were two things I remember about this show. I remember her hair sticking out, and I remember Baloo having a King Louie having a tiki bar for some reason.
Yes, exactly. It was a tiki bar slash airplane gas station. Anyway, so this game, I'm not a huge fan of it. I got it and actually played it for the first time in my memory. I feel like I might have played it at some point. It feels like an Albertsons rental, but I got it this year on that Disney Afternoon Collection for PlayStation 4. Which is dope, and it's on sale right now. If you get the chance to go drop $8, you get 6 Disney games.
Cool.
And worth it. Except I hate this game.
So
I'm looking forward to moving on to Rescue Rangers and DuckTales and Darkwing Duck and not playing Tailspin anymore. Because, man, what a frustrating game. Even with the Disney Afternoon Collection and its little rewind feature, it's so frustrating. Like, it's just, I don't know, like I didn't get very far in the game because of sheer frustration, but like you're playing moves a little slow and you shoot pretty slow. And the more stuff you collect in each level, you get to upgrade your stuff and your equipment. So I guess eventually you move faster and you shoot faster, but like the first couple levels are kind of a pain in the ass. Like, you have to go through like, it's a side scrolling, it's scrolling. And if you get, the only way you really die without getting shot is you get stuck between like a wall and the scroll, which is a pain in the ass. And then, you do like a scrolling section, you do a vertical scrolling section, and then you have to fight a boss. And it's like a submarine that's shooting sick ass torpedoes in the air. And, it's really hard when it's like the first level and you can shoot like one bullet every 3 seconds. Like it takes a long time to beat this first boss. And but yeah, I assume the game gets a little easier as you continue playing, and I need to keep going on it. But I don't know, it's just, I feel like this is one of those games where if I was playing it as a kid, I never would have gotten past like the second level. I would have felt a big sense of accomplishment for beating this submarine boss. But yeah, it is cool though. It's got the it's like got the diagonal shooting, and you can press a button to literally flip upside down and like go back in the level to pick up more treasure and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
The one problem is it's an NES game, and guess what happens when you go back?
Enemies are back too.
Enemies respawn!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like once you get to the end of the current screen, you can't go further back.
No, that that you can do. You can totally go back, like on that first level where there's like a horizontal, then a vertical, then a horizontal. Like you can go back as much as you want in the horizontal scrolling sections, but the enemies respawn as you go back and then as you go forward again. So the game gets super extra hard and busy as fuck if you do too much of that. So it's a little tricky and a bit of a pain in the ass, but like, if you're playing it nowadays and you're playing it on this collection, like it's worth a shot. But I feel like it's not Capcom's best Disney licensed game. I feel like DuckTales and Rescue Rangers are still better. But it's cool they were trying something different. I would have liked to have played the one where it is like a side-scrolling platformer as opposed to a shoot 'em up. Like I was thinking as I'm playing this, I'm like, this would be really cool if it was like 2 platforming levels where you're playing as Baloo and Kit, and then you get like either a bonus stage where you fly the plane or like an in-between stage where you fly the plane. Like there's too much plane flying and it's not perfect, but like they could have done a little mix, just spice it up just a little bit with some platforming sections, and I think it could have been something really special. But instead, it's something remarkably frustrating, and it frustrates me because I loved Tailspin when I was a kid. I don't want to have any, I don't want to have any negative memories of Tailspin, because I barely have any memories left of Tailspin. I was like really having to Google like the cast of Tailspin today. I'm like, okay, it really was just Jungle Book with an airplane. Like, fuck, I'm getting old.
But it wasn't even like there were a lot of new characters, because I remember Shere Khan is there, Baloo is there, King Louie is there, and I think that's it. Like you don't get any of the wolves, you don't get Ka, you don't get any of the elephants.
No Mowgli.
No Bagheera.
Yeah.
No Mowgli. God, it'd be great if eventually Tailspin goes to like America or just any continent of humans.
That would have been amazing if like Mowgli just showed up into Tailspin. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? No.
Yeah. Baloo just cracks open a crate and Mowgli comes rolling out like, hey, man cub, what are you doing here? Like, I couldn't afford a plane ticket, so I had to ship myself home. Don't tell anybody. It's like that episode of The Simpsons where I made a fake license. It's complicated. No, I don't like this at all. No people on Tailspin.
No,
Tailspin is basically just the Jungle Book meets Dr. Dolittle. No, not Dr. Dolittle. Dr. Moreau.
Also good.
I like the idea that Mowgli is delivering a bunch of wigs from the wig sphere for Kid Cunningham or whatever her name is.
That's it. Mowgli is delivering the wigs to Rebecca. That's what her hair is.
Hey, Mowgli, how'd you like to deliver 500 Big Macs to King Louis Island? All right.
Maybe he's like the last human alive, The great human-animal war.
Yeah, it's the rise of the planet of the Tailspin. Mowgli's the one person in the resistance. Now that's the sequel series that we need.
We need this in-between movie series. Come on, Disney.
Exactly. That's going to be like the Rogue One of the Tailspin saga. Like, what happened to all the humans? Moog 1. Good night.
Yes.
Oh, man.
2.
Episode title.
Sweet.
It's pretty avant-garde, I think.
Yes.
I like it.
Huh.
Cool.
A lot of noise in that track.
Well, it's part of the hardware.
Aha.
So, anyone want a little trivia for this game?
Please.
Okay. I have to be very careful with my word choice here.
Ooh.
So, the previous game in this series, when you got a power-up or changed your weapon, it changed your character's color. However, this game was on the Game Boy and couldn't do that. So, when you changed your weapon, your actual weapon physically changed. And when you got a power-up, your character's clothing got a physical difference. Those two differences have carried on to every other game in this series.
Excellent selection, David.
As I say, hopefully that last song helps because it's probably the most recognizable song from this game.
It helps, but not as much as knowing the system and the handy Google results.
So who has some answers? All right, so everyone has a different answer. Jesse says Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, sadly incorrect. John Regan says Mega Man for Game Boy, the first one, incorrect. John Harrington is the correct answer with Metroid 2, Return of Samus.
Nice.
I almost was going to go with one of the Mega Man games, and I was like, wait, nothing that happened in the Game Boy Mega Man series carried on to the future Mega Man games, so that can't be it.
In the first Metroid on the NES, when you select missiles, Samus's arm cannon would turn like a teal-blue color, but in this one, the end of it opens up, which carried on in every game. Right. And then when Samus gets the Varia suit, this is the first game that introduces her big round shoulder balls.
Yeah, I love them shoulder balls, man. It's a cool look.
For some reason I was thinking whip color.
It would have been cool if it went from whip color to like something on the end of like the flail, like a mace ball or something like that. But
because it does turn into like from a whip to like a chain whip and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, with Game Boy stuff, you got to make some real distinct changes. Like we're working with some limited resources here. You got to,
you have
really be able to convey. Yeah, exactly. 4 shades of green and like no pixels. So,
there's a lot of people. Some of the criticisms about this game are that it's difficult to maneuver and it's easier to get hit, but it's just because they had to make Samus's sprite like twice as big so that you could get the detail on the Game Boy screen.
Right. Yeah, no, I never actually played this back in the day on Game Boy, which is funny because like I never really played much of the original Metroid because it was inscrutable, but like I played the shit out of some Super Metroid, and it always said on there Metroid 3, Super Metroid. I'm like, oh yeah, there was a Metroid 2. Too bad I'm never gonna play that. Like, even back then, it's like, it's just lost to the Game Boy. No thanks.
Or like Metroid Who.
Yeah, Metroid, huh? I'm really glad they remade this because the 3DS version of this now looks very cool, and I need to pick it up and play it because I
was gonna say they just remade it for 3DS. I highly recommend that version rather than like the Virtual Console Game Boy version.
Yeah.
There you have it. David says new games are better than old games.
Oh, yep. Take that, retro games.
Mainly because this game is fun and enjoyable, but it has the same problems as the NES Metroid, but worse because it's also inscrutable. It's also difficult to see where you're going, and it's on the Game Boy, so all of the areas look identical.
Like you have graph paper.
Very easy to get lost in this game.
Yeah, fuck that. Like,
they did add save states. It does make it a little easier. And you do kind of, because I don't know what makes the planet do this, but you're exploring SR-388, the homeworld of the Metroids, and as you kill Metroids, there's lava and like toxic water in the planet, and once you hit a certain number of killed Metroids, it decreases so you can go further in. I don't know why the planet's topography changes because you're killing things that live on it, but that's how it works.
Sounds like some Fern Gully shit. Like it's getting upset with you for killing all of its creatures.
Yeah, like, you showed up going on this like Metroid genocide, and the planet's just really not happy about it. And so Tim Curry's gonna yell at you, and yeah.
Well, I love the fact that like this whole game is basically Samus committed. She's running a species to extinction. Like she is single-handedly responsible for wiping out Metroids. Except for one.
It's an evil species. Like, let's just be real here. They, are they abominations or are they just like terrible, like life force sucking species? Because either way, I mean, come on, like,
I mean, they're basically living weapons. Like they were made to be weapons.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember in the canon if they were like a manufactured species, but yeah, like. They're abominations, and they deserve to be. They deserve to be wiped.
It's like they're a slight against God.
It's like that trailer for the fucking the new Jurassic World that's coming out. Have you guys seen that yet? They're having the fucking debate about whether or not should these animals be protected? Like the island's gonna have a volcano go off on it. No, they shouldn't be fucking protected. They're abominations, and they killed a lot of people. Like, wipe them out. There's no question. You should kill all Metroids. Like, man.
So basically, what you're saying is that Metroid needs Jeff Goldblum to say, Metroids had their chance.
Right. Metroids find a way, and we need to, if we're not careful, they'll be here after us.
Wasn't that one baby Metroid pretty okay though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and see, I feel like the baby Metroid is a plot point from Metroid 2 that I'm not aware of because, like it just kind of it happens in Super Metroid and it grows real big, and I feel no real connection to it, so it's got to be part of this game. But
see, that's one of the things. Like this game is. If you're looking at like the story of Metroid, like the series as a whole, this is one of the most important games and nobody has played it, which is why I'm really glad they did that 3DS remake because this is where Samus finds the baby Metroid that saves her in Super Metroid. Right. And I think it's the same Metroid that they get the vaccine out of for Metroid Fusion. So like this game starts everything, but it was on the Game Boy, so nobody played it because it was really hard to get through.
Yeah,
it was fun. So, I mean, it was your typical like Metroid exploring, shooting action. This is the game that gave us the spider ball where you could crawl up on the walls. That was cool.
Shoulder balls and spider balls, man. The legacy of Metroid 2.
Metroid 2, nothing but balls.
All them balls. Yeah. But yeah, did Nintendo take their lesson from this, like, and just stop releasing canon sequels onto handhelds? Like, is anything that has happened in the Mario Land series of any consequence to the Mario canon, if there is a Mario canon? No.
Wario.
Yeah, big deal.
Big deal to Wario. He's like one of the most famous characters now.
To answer the
where's he been?
To answer the second part of your question, canons have always been a huge part of Mario games, so there is a Mario canon.
Oh,
talking about the ones that shoot bullet bills.
And the ones that shoot Mario in Mario 64.
Oh yeah, that one. Well played, sir. Yeah. You may give yourself a my man. My man. Yes. But yeah, man.
Once again, I can't stress enough. I'm so glad that's on the soundboard.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. But yeah,
fun.
Yeah, no,
fact.
but like seriously, did they just stop putting canon on handhelds after this? Because like, first for like Metroid being one of the only games that Nintendo makes that's like real super duper story heavy for a time. This really was confusing to not have any of the context from this game like going forward in this series.
Well, actually, I think this is the only one because like Mario Land was a weird spin-off side story. Link's Awakening was a weird spin-off side story. Kid Icarus didn't even come out in Japan. So
that's important. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
good.
I don't think it was until the DS Zelda games that they like story mattered on the handhelds, and those were still just a continuation of Wind Waker.
And the Final Fantasies on Game Boy are just other games with the name Final Fantasy.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man, I hope somebody brought Final Fantasy Adventure tonight. I'm ready to talk about Proto Secret of Mana.
Fun fact, I always feel like this is interesting because Metroid 2 I feel like is like you're saying, like nobody actually played it, right? But so the Super Game Boy for the Super Nintendo, a lot of Game Boy games had enhancements when played on the Super Game Boy, and Metroid 2 did not. Metroid 2 was made well before the Super Game Boy. So instead, the Super Game Boy has enhancements for Metroid 2 built into it. Like it detects as Metroid 2, and it picks color palettes that make sense to make it look like NES Metroid, and you get a custom background or whatever, and things like that. And it's always kind of like, well, why though? Like nobody played this game.
One of the things that I think was hilarious is I actually like somewhere in my collection I have a Nintendo Power from ages ago where they were advertising Metroid 2 DX, because when the Game Boy Color came out, they re-released certain games that would take advantage of it. Like Link's Awakening had a brand new color dungeon. They never released Metroid 2 DX. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this." Screw it.
Yeah, we got other things to do. We asked our uncle at Nintendo if anybody cared about Metroid 2, and he said no. So, we're just not gonna do that. But yeah, man, good pick, good game, possibly good remake of a game now that I think we all need to play.
Don't play the original, but if you could play the remake, play the remake.
Can't wait. It's on my list. But yeah, awesome pick. Again, shoulder balls and spider balls. That's what I'm taking away from the game. Let's move it on, man.
Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, okay.
Probably thought that was going somewhere, didn't you?
Yeah,
It wasn't.
No, but I was enjoying the beat.
Yeah. Yeah, funky music for this funky game. This is our fan request for the evening. This one comes to us from occasional Game That Tune co-host David Weiland. And man,
well, that gives it away.
Yep, it should. This game is based on 3 stories from what popular collection of stories? So, you guys racking your brain on popular story collections that were turned into NES games?
Yeah, actually, I think I have a good idea.
Wait, hang on. I think I have.
That last song kind of gave it away, I think.
I had to change my answer last minute. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's have it then. Jesse says Monkey Island 2, which is unfortunately incorrect. John and David both get it. It's Bible Adventures.
Damn you, David Weiland.
Like, come on.
So, Bible Adventures, who played it?
I think what I like is that I'm pretty sure my shirt matches the cartridge color.
It might. Yeah.
That's right. This was one of the unlicensed ones, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. It was not licensed. It's funny. I was reading about that.
The game was better than the book.
I don't know, man. You know, the book had a little bit more meat on the bones.
I feel weird describing the Bible. Like, I'm not religious at all, but I feel weird describing the Bible as a popular collection of stories. Like,
I mean,
it's technically
the most
accurate.
Popular collection of stories.
A bunch of stories collected.
Yeah. You know, I said nothing as to whether they are fictitious or not. I'm not here to get into that. It's a collection of stories. Yeah, like it is. And that's how we word our trivia. But yeah, I almost made the trivia something to do with the fact that this was an unlicensed game, and as such, the cartridge had to hack the NES in order to be played. Because there was some kind of chip in the NES that gave Nintendo control over everything, but unlicensed cartridges would include things to do a voltage spike when the system comes on and disable the chip so that they can be played in the system.
Yep, it was called the NES 10 chip.
Yeah, and so I'm just picturing like somebody programming a Bible game and then somebody being like, hey man, I can't get this to play on the NES. I think they've got some kind of chip that's designed to, keep unlicensed software off the system. They're like, well, fuck that. The kids are going to need Bible adventures. Let's hack this bitch. And so they came up with some roundabout way of, sneaking unlicensed software onto the system, and it was the Bible. So I don't know if that's like I don't know if it's a good thing, bad thing, hypocritical, or what. Like they broke Nintendo's laws to put the Bible into the NES. I don't know.
I feel like that's pretty on par with
Yeah, it's Old Testament for sure. So
zapping things with electricity just kind of makes sense, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you use a Game Genie with Bible Adventures?
I don't know.
God with Bible Adventures.
That'd be so good, unlike God mode in Bible Adventures. The game plays itself while you watch and don't help. Oh, dude. But yeah, so has anybody ever actually played this?
No.
I've only seen videos.
I thought maybe Johnny had, because they eventually made a Genesis remake of it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that at all. Oh, wow.
In 1995, a Sega version of Bible Adventures.
We'll get there.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
I'm reading about it in like the description of it and the way that it's going through about the gameplay. It makes it sound far better than I'm sure it actually is.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's good at all, and I love the fact that a lot of people criticize it for being a ripoff of Super Mario Brothers 2. Like, you can go around and like pick stuff up and throw it. I'm like, that's pretty generous. Like, that's not all that Super Mario Brothers 2 is.
Well, I was reading about it, and the one of the stories, or I guess levels, is based on baby Moses. And your goal is you're playing Moses' sister, so you have to pick up Moses and carry him through the level. And it says if the player completes the level without Moses, the game says, good work, but you forgot baby Moses. And you have to replay the level.
Yeah, you missed the point of this level.
Just like Yoshi's Island.
Oh, God. But yeah, and there's like a Noah level where you can pick up animals and I guess take them to the ark. And you can like stack them. It's kind of Mario Odyssey-esque, like the Goombas you can stack. There's just like Noah carrying a stack of animals all the way to the ark, which seems really fun. Like,
see, for a second I thought you were going to say that like Noah has like a little hat that he could throw into animals to control them, which would have been awesome.
Dude, man, if Mario Odyssey secretly had ripped off Bible Adventures, I would be so happy to learn that. Like,
I would play the hell out of this game if the Noah's Ark section was just Noah taking control of various animals to use their abilities to get through the level.
Yes, that too. But like, years later, like, fucking Koizumi or whoever's directing like Mario Odyssey at this point plays Bible Adventures, be like, that's a really, really good mechanic. I like that. Like, I think we could work with that. All right. What if I took it out of this Bible context, though, and put it in more of a New Donk City context? Like, okay, yeah, I see where you're going with that. And then, of course, the last level is David and Goliath. And the first part of the level, you herd sheep and protect them from things. And then eventually you have to fight Goliath. And how do you beat Goliath? One hit to the head. Like, oh man, it's just like the Bible came to life in your hands. And man, I also never realized this game was not sold in like retail stores because it was unlicensed. This was sold at like Christian bookstores around the country. So
nice.
That's really funny.
Oh God, yeah. So so like you're like kind of religious aunt goes to a Christian bookstore to try to find you something and gets you this game. Oh.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, exactly. I'm shopping for a 7-year-old. What do you think? What do you think a young man who I'm trying to seduce to the Bible would like? And they're like, we got just the thing.
We got this game that has the potential to break his Nintendo. You should
exactly. We got this hot ticket. Our finest video game programmers have been at work on this for years. And like, I just love it. It's
If I'm not mistaken, the same
NES
company did
travesty.
Super 3D Noah's Ark for Super Nintendo later on.
Sounds about right.
And that game had an amazing way of defeating the Super. It was it's the only unlicensed Super Nintendo game ever. And
yeah, I saw that on a list earlier when I was looking up stuff about this. Like unlicensed NES games, all these games, and unlicensed SNES games, Super 3D Noah's Ark. Like, huh.
And it bypassed
basically just Doom.
Wolfenstein 3D, and the way it defeated the unlicensedness of it was it had a cartridge port in the top they had to put a actual licensed game into, and it would use that to bypass the lockout. It had
lock-on technology.
It did.
So what if you
Oh my god! That's genius. It'd be so good if it was like Sonic and Knuckles, where it just added Noah's Ark into whatever game you plugged into it.
Oh man! Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm reading about Super 3D's Noah's Ark, and it just says, according to rumors, id Software, angered with Nintendo of America's censorship of the SNES version of Wolfenstein 3D, gave the source code for that game to the company as a revenge, so that they could make an unofficial clone just to piss off Nintendo.
Oh, that makes me
That's
super
kind
happy.
of amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was going to be my other thing. Is are you serious? These Christian video game developers, just hacked up Wolfenstein and replaced the Nazis with, fucking
goats,
Noah's Ark animals or something.
You're hitting
that's
ghosts with
weird,
slingshots
man.
and knocking them out so that you can get them on the boat.
Yeah, that's really odd. But no, the fact that Doom or fucking id Software gave them their blessing is even better. Oh god, that's fucking excellent.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more this company Wisdom Tree, they're badass. They're just doing what they want. Fuck the rules. Fuck the law.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't take no shit from any man. They're operating above the laws of man. They're on a mission from God.
You beat me to it, damn it.
Yes. God, if the Blues Brothers were programmers. But yeah, so we've talked way too long about this because I also used the only 3 songs from Bible Adventures. So the background music in this section of the podcast is going to be really fucking annoying. So yeah, Bible Adventures. That's a thing that happened. Thanks a lot, David Weiland, for requesting this, you fuck. And let's keep it going, Johnny.
Game 4.
Fuck.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
super cool.
Alrighty. So, I thought this was pretty cool trivia. Moto Aki Takanouchi is a composer for this game, and some of the track names, which are seen in the sound test, such as The Gate of Delirium, To Be Over, and Close to the Edge, seem to pay homage to British rock band Yes, as those were names of songs performed by the band. In addition, Talk to the Wind could very well be a reference to the song by King Crimson. Vital Signs could be a reference to Canadian rock band Rush. Time to Kill could be a reference to the 1970s British band UK. And Firebird could be reference to Igor Stravinsky's Firebird Suite. All right, you guys, how you feeling?
Terrible, but into the music. Good tunes.
Yeah, music's great, but I got nothing.
It's a Genesis game.
That I do
have. Oh, coincidentally, this might help. It came out in 1991.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I might have this.
Okay.
Let's see. Johnny says Bible Adventures for Genesis. That's wrong.
That was 1995, dumbass.
John's Mystic Fighter. That's wrong. And David says Jewel Master. That's correct.
Hey. Damn.
Yeah, the what I like to jokingly dub the Ringo Starr Simulator, because you go around collecting various rings and Ringo
stars.
But yeah, this game is pretty cool. It's like a side-scrolling action game, and you get rings, and you equip different rings to your different fingers. And so, like, the A button uses the ring on your right hand, and the B button uses the ring on your left hand. Whoa. And so, like, you can like mix and match your rings. So you could be like, okay, with these two rings, I can now shoot a spread of fireballs, or I can have like lightning shoot this way, or I can make like an ice shot or something. So I think it's a pretty cool game, especially for its time, to be able to, mix powers like that and stuff.
That sounds dope. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, I was trying to think of another game with like mixing of fucking weapons, and my mind went straight to fucking Gunstar Heroes.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, fucking Gunstar Heroes, you can do that. Like, you collect a green power up and an orange power up, and it changes things. So you're shooting like, homing fireballs or whatever. Like, yeah. But that sounds super cool. But no, what the fuck, Jewel Master?
Yeah,
never heard of this in my life.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until a couple years ago, but it's pretty cool. I mean, if you got a Genesis, this is a game you should probably look for, because it's not like some of the level design is a little lacking, and it can be a little, kick to the dick hard just because it's an old game. But other than that, it looks good. It's pretty fun. It kind of plays like a slower Castlevania almost.
Right, yeah. I'm looking at screenshots of it now. It's got, I don't know, maybe like a little ActRaiser type vibe, like just side-scrolling, probably, fun side-scrolling stuff, but you get custom rings. So that's, that sounds so dope. Like, just, makes it cool for, young guys playing Sega games to, care about jewelry.
I know. It's definitely a hidden gem, I believe.
Oh, man. you, John. I knew you would do it. Huh.
The live stream just totally missed that because I accidentally had OBS pulled up. And when I hit it switched scenes on me because I hadn't. So it switched to the intro scene where we have no audio. God damn it.
Nice job, man.
I can't have that in the foreground. I always forget that.
Yeah. Huh. Well, yeah. So
that's for me.
Once
David
more for the people in the back.
He did do some art for this game at one point.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I guess he had to go throw up, just to express his disgust over Jewel Master. David's definitely never done artwork for this game. He hates it so much. He was just shitting in anger. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was going to go angry pee in the corner of the room. He didn't want to talk about Jewel Master.
Jesse,
and he's still not talking about it.
Jesse, can you make that face again?
Really clinch up there.
Could that just be your face for the rest of the night?
See, this is what I get for having the decency to not pee in an empty beer can.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Peeing in an empty container, during the show is a significant part of this show's rich heritage. You just do what you got to do.
We gave that
anyway.
to more.
David, talk to us about Jewel Master. Tell us about your artwork, man.
Yeah, because when this game came on, I was like, this sounds really familiar. And then you were giving the trivia. It's like, okay, that doesn't help. I was like, wait, didn't you do a video on this game?
Yeah.
Didn't I draw for this game?
Hell yeah.
I think I remember this. So I was like, I feel somewhat confident.
Good. So I'm assuming you wouldn't just draw it without playing it. So give us the rundown, man. Tell us the story of the Jewel Master.
How fast did you beat it?
Yeah.
6 hours.
That's terrible. I watched a long play. It was 31 minutes.
I had to get a Genesis. That took some time.
Oh, I see. So you started once you woke up and decided to play it. Okay.
David's start to finish time is 6 hours.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. He had to take an angry dump at some point.
Can't believe I played this game again.
Yeah, that takes a couple of minutes, no matter what he's doing, even if he's recording a podcast. But yeah, so that added to the time. You got to factor in travel time. The time it takes for David to write a check. Because we all know that he doesn't use a debit card.
At a flea market. He finds the game.
Yeah, the Chicago flea market. Yeah, David wrote a check.
Wait, is that Jewel Master at your flea market table? Y'all take personal checks, right? Okay, good. We are set.
Good.
For $3.
Oh, crap. I forgot my checkbook. Now I've got to take a train home. Definitely not just emulate this game.
It's adding to my time.
Yeah.
I really want to try that. I really want to take my checkbook to a flea market.
Man, they'll take it. They'll take it and steal your fucking identity with it. That bank account is then theirs. Don't trust flea market folk, John. They're dangerous.
We were beaten by the best. You said we were beaten by the best.
Exactly. We were beaten by the Jewel Master. He didn't seem like I said we were beaten by the Jewel Master. Jesse, is there anything to say about this game besides pretty good music and kick-ass rings? Does Sonic know this game exists? Because this seems like a Sonic thing. No, I can think of another game.
Different kind of rings.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you collect rings. Really?
Those are more like onion rings than that one.
Yeah.
The jewels sound pretty similar to Chaos Emeralds.
Yep. Also good. Collect rings to get jewels.
Or Infinity Stones.
Sonic the whole time. And, so who'd you say composed the soundtrack? Was it Jewel?
Close.
Oh, man. I'm reaching here.
Motoaki Takenouchi.
Awesome.
He's done a lot of Sega stuff, and he's really into prog rock, which makes sense.
I love the idea of the final boss of Jewel Master actually just being Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
That also is a good idea.
Or Jewel.
Yeah, Jewel with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Like you come up on a clearing and there's a camper van and there's Jewel.
I was just imagining like Jewel on stage with an acoustic guitar strumming while wearing the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes.
No. Phase 1.
One doesn't think of fun when saving one's soul, but this does put a smile on my face.
Phase 1, you got to fight the camper van. Phase 2, Jewel comes out.
You got to suplex Jewel's camper. Yeah.
Her final attack is yodeling at you.
This is one of our least relevant discussions of all time. I love it.
And I love
Only 90s kids will get all these Jewel and Jewel Master references. Man. So yeah, cool. Jesse, anything else on Jewel Master, the obvious, super hit from, I can't keep it going. I'm excited to be talking about this game, but no, I can't even act like we're talking about it.
I feel like we haven't mentioned Home Improvement enough this episode.
That's true, John.
That was 91.
Why was this not Tool Master?
I don't know.
Which also would have been a good game, like the sequel to Power Tool Pursuit. Tool Master.
No, see, that's the big twist ending.
Two tools.
Jewel comes out from her camper with her guitar, puts the Infinity Gauntlet on, grabs the microphone, and then says,
when she puts on the gauntlet, she turns into Tim Allen.
Yes, she the gauntlet combines two power tools to get more power, and then confusedly the Jewel Master's like, the fuck, I thought you had the Infinity Gauntlet, and she says, no, this is the Timfinity Gauntlet.
and then summons an army of owls to attack you.
No, the camper van turns into Owl.
Oh God, you're really hung up on this camper van thing, man. I'm not sure.
I just think they're neat.
I just think Jewel is neat. Jewel Master, dope game, dope soundtrack. Could have been improved by all of our nonsense. So yeah, not many games are improved by our hot nonsense, but this one, they maybe should have listened to us. Let's get that time gem and go back in time and fix Jewel Master with the proper level of Marvel and Tim Allen related ridiculousness. But until we get that,
only at the very last level. Like it's perfectly, what you expect, and then all of a sudden this train
takes a hard right. It just really goes off the rails. Like, oh, you think you're the Jewel Master? Okay, I'm gonna stop doing it. We've tangented enough on this one. Johnny, what do we got?
5.
Interesting.
They all said.
right. So let's see here. Are you guys ready for some trivia?
Oh, so bad.
All right.
Please.
This was the first game released under the LucasArts brand. Former games by this studio were released under Lucasfilm Games. So this marks the first appearance of the iconic gold guy LucasArts, logo.
Yes, iconic.
I like that song. So it's like 3 songs in one.
Yep.
All right. You guys got some answers?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. John's holding his way too close to the camera, and I'm having a hard time reading David's. All right. Everybody says Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge, which is correct.
Yeah.
My man. Cool. Finally got a hat trick tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
talk amongst yourselves. I didn't play PC games in the 90s, so this whole Monkey Island craze was lost on me, and boy was it a craze. The most popular game series of all time, Monkey Island.
I think it's really popular. I don't appreciate the sarcasm.
I didn't say anything sarcastic.
Jesse, have you ever played any of the Monkey Island games, or David?
No, I haven't.
I've played one briefly, and I do not recall which one.
Oh man! All right. Well, the Monkey Island games are a lot of fun. They're point-and-click adventure games, which we really don't see that anymore nowadays. And I don't know if there's a reason for that, or just I don't know, maybe it's just not popular anymore. But
so the decline of mice. I think it's the rise of touchscreens, John.
Well, that's the thing, though. See, you can play this on touchscreens. They've ported these games to everything under the sun. Yeah, like you can actually. So, interesting technical tidbit. These games are all made using a programming thing called Scum, and some people reverse engineered it and released an open source thing called Scum VM to let them play these games on modern platforms. And now it's come full circle. You can actually buy like licensed ports of these games that use that open source engine. Yeah, it's kind of neat. So, anyways,
it's been so long since you've gotten to talk about the Scum engine.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for you, John.
So, anyways, yeah, they're great because they're there's just tons and tons of objects you can interact with, and all kinds of ways you can interact with things. Like basically, as you're playing, you've got a list of verbs below you, so you can click something, and a list of like verbs that you can do to it pop up, like look at, talk to, pick up. And there's all these like ridiculously hard puzzles based on like, for instance, Monkey Island 1, there's a puzzle where you have to like distract a seagull outside a restaurant so that you can like make the cook leave so you can reach into the pot and like get a key out of it or something crazy like that. Like all these crazy little puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
And the scripts are hilarious. You get to interact with a lot of characters, and they say all kinds of great, funny things. Like there's a famous sword fight in Monkey Island 1 where it's a fight of insults. They'll insult you, and you have to pick the most damaging insult to return.
Ooh.
I remember the bit that I played, you were talking to like a ship salesman who was like a used car salesman.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Okay, so that's a guy.
Yep, right. That's a guy. I'll be honest, I never beat one. Like, I really.
Good thing we're talking about two.
I know.
Yeah, John.
That's the worst part. I hadn't played two. So, I just really want to talk Monkey Island.
An insult fight makes sense, but because a point-and-click sword fight sounds like it could be the worst thing that they've ever come up with. So, that's good. They played to their strengths.
Yeah,
but
and it's pretty silly, the sword fight thing. Like like you fight like a dairy farm, but how appropriate! You fight like a cow. It's yeah.
Wow, that is straight cheeky. Yeah, no, you really gotta carry us on this one, John. None of us have played this.
I should.
How does this game relate to the Mac classic, The Secret Island of Dr. Quandary?
I have never heard of that game before, to be totally
honest.
That game,
what public school did you not go to?
Dr. Brain Teams? Those things were sweet.
I don't remember that at all.
Go around an island solving fucking puzzles, and then eventually you have to make like a big stew and turn yourself from a monster back into a person and defeat Dr. Quandary. Come on, John. I thought that would be right up your alley.
Games, I think.
Yeah. I think they were like Mac exclusives in the 90s. How do you not know about that?
I don't know.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. That was the point and click island game that I played. Played it for 15 minutes a day in like 4th grade. Killed it. Yeah. No.
If you like games like Maniac Mansion, I do think that Monkey Island 1 is a lot of fun, and I'm sure Monkey Island 2 is just as fun as Monkey Island 1, since they're both kind of similar games. Crazy puzzles, lots of clicking, lots of verbs, lots of actions.
Now, is this
one
of those
point-and-click games? Is plenty of clicking.
Is this one of those adventure games where, like, if you fuck up just a little bit, you're just totally fucked?
Yes.
Okay, those are annoying because, like, I had like what is it called? It's one of those like Space Ace or something, and like fucking every time I get to the second screen, I die. It's like I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yep,
Yeah.
This is a game where you gotta save often.
Shit, John.
That's clutch.
So since it's on the Scum engine, which we previously discussed in our discussion of Maniac Mansion, let's just get down to game that tune brass tacks, my friend. Where's the microwave? Where's the dick? Let's really just get into it. Like, how much of George Lucas's dick fits in that microwave in this game? It's got to be more advanced than Maniac Mansion, quite frankly.
No, at this point, because it's a later game, it's a little bit harder to do it. Harder. It's a tougher puzzle to solve. How to get his dick in that microwave?
Yeah. What are the logical hoops you got to jump through? What items do you need in order to entice George Lucas's dick into the microwave?
You need a unedited theatrical version of Star Wars Episode 4. And you have to set a trap with that because he'll be drawn to it because he wants to edit it, of course.
Yeah, okay. I like where this is going.
This isn't right.
I better fix this. Yeah, there should be a monster, like just a lizard in this scene. let me just pick this up off the floor and digitally edit it.
We really should add Jar Jar to Episode 4.
Then when he squats down on the floor, he squats into a pile of ice cubes, chilling his dick. So then you have to get him near the microwave because he's got chili dick. And he's got
goddamn chili dick.
Chili dick.
Hashtag chili dick.
I would call
Chili Willy on
I would say Chili Willy.
Chili dick is a much better turn of phrase. It doesn't rhyme. So once you've got him in the same room as the microwave with the frozen penis, then what is it that you have to do to get him to forego the safety precautionary measures? Because he bent down really slowly, and the tip of it touched a pile of ice cubes.
But why does it need to be frozen? Why can't you just smash the dick in the microwave without it being frozen? I feel like you're adding an extra step.
This is one of those puzzles. I think there's multiple right answers to this.
He doesn't
puzzle.
want to be portrayed as slamming his dick in the microwave willingly. So he had a creative control over this game, and they all knew about his dick slamming thing. And he's like, hey, okay, yeah, we can put it in there, but we got to make it seem like I was seduced there by a ghost pirate or something. Or
does he think that he's going to warm his penis up in the microwave? Is that the trick?
I thought so. John really didn't ever get us there. So
that just I don't know.
I had a really hard time solving this puzzle. I always have to look it up on GameFAQs. There's a whole guy dedicated to getting his dick in the microwave.
See, the key is you can't actually get him to go to the first microwave. You get him to go to the next microwave, the microwave with a dick hole in it. That's the one that you want. So he's not slamming it in the microwave anymore. It's just a microwave with a dick hole made for this.
John, I believe those are technically called glory holes.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe those microwaves are sold under the Chili Willy line. You have to unchili your willy. Here you go.
Exactly.
Use a microwave. Radiation on your dick. That's wonderful.
The trifecta Chili Willy uses 3 kinds of heat to thaw out your dick.
It's George Lucas's personal brand of microwave. It was the original Foreman grill, it was the Lucas microwave. And
there's this pandemic going around where people are getting cold dicks that they need to oh God, I fell in the snow.
This is all your fault, John. You never got us into the Monkey Island discussion, so we had to talk microwaves and dicks.
I'm okay with it. This is great.
Tisk. Good tunes on there. It was pretty obvious immediately that this was at the very least a PC game, and then the tunes were just a little jaunty, just a little piratey. This game made itself very obvious very quickly. It also helped that Jesse guessed Monkey Island earlier, which put it in my mind. So thank you to Jesse on the assist.
Did it also help that the Neskimos have covered those first 2 tracks that I played?
Who? Yeah, sure, that helps. Whatever that sentence meant.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time, John. More accurately, that's a track I haven't listened to in a long time. They never actually formally released that one. They just made that live.
Yep.
But yep, it's a great track. If you're into the Eskimos, seek out their cover of their live cover of Monkey Island 2. At the beginning, you will hear a certain Jesse Moore in the audience yell, "Monkey Island!" It's a classic jam. So maybe it was a certain Jesse Moore. I didn't say it was you.
Oh, okay. It was the other Jesse Moore.
Yeah. But yeah, so John, you got to keep us on track, or I think it's time for the calculating computer, my friend.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps. Boops.
What the heck?
Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Harrington.
Hey! Fuck yeah! That's what I'm talking about. It's because I George Lucas slamming his dick in a microwave again, isn't it?
Yes.
Probably.
That's instant win.
Good. You forgot. We should have planned this out a little bit better. Because he could have given it to David. Mr. Gets everything right. And then I was going to game over him for abandoning the show to anger shit during our Jewel Master discussion. So...
Next episode's like, we got David Fleming say, hey, George Lucas slamming his dick in the microwave. Boom!
Boom!
So over.
Oh, man. But yeah, great game night. John, ban this fucking guy from the chat real quick. He's fucking distracting me as I'm trying to bring the show home. Shit. So yeah. So fantastic 90s episode. And I was thinking for the theme, this 90s episode went so well that I think we just got to keep it going. I think the theme for the next episode should also be the 90s. So,
okay.
I like it.
If there's no objections, 92, typically following 91, still a number in the 90s. Therefore, the theme remains the 90s. So, yeah.
So any game from just the whole decade of the 90s?
The 90s, bro.
Okay,
no, no restrictions whatsoever. Free and easy, just like we did it tonight. Great game tonight, guys. Total blast. A lot of good games. A lot of old school games. A lot of early 90s games. I was into it. A lot of fun. Thanks to you guys for your selections. Thanks to everybody who tuned in live with us. Live on twitch.tv/GameThatTune, Facebook.com/GameThatTune, and YouTube.com/GameThatTune. We appreciate the chatter in the old chat box. And we had a blast tonight. So check us out there live every Wednesday night when we record our fantastic show here, and then catch us in podcast form on Wednesday mornings where we sound a little bit better. We got a little bit more finishing touches. We edit out some of the fuck ups that Johnny has and put a little background music in there. We just zazz it up a little bit. So check that out wherever you get your podcast, probably iTunes or some shit. I don't know. Thank you to David Weiland for the Bible Adventures request. We can finally scratch that one off the list.
Should we thank him for that?
No. But see, now he can't do it the next time he has to sit in on the show. We've taken one from his back pocket. So that's good. But if you would like to make your own requests, you can hit us up, GameThatTune@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at GameThatTune. We're always taking DMs on there. Or you can go to Patreon. Patreon.com/GameThatTune gets you priority requesting. If you donate a little bit of money to the show, you get your request picked over everyone else's. We didn't get any Patreon requests this week. That's why we had Bible Adventures. But, if you want your songs played on this show, patreon.com is the best way to get it done. Go there, sign up with us. You get a lot of cool, fun mixtapes. You get free play jingles and shit as bonus ringtones. You get David's fantastic DKGTT rap. We're always having fun, and it's enabling us to do a lot of fun stuff. And we want to say a special thank you to Patreon Superfan tier producers, Alex Messenger and Lance Revere. You guys are great, and thank you for your contributions to the show. So yeah, check out patreon.com/GameThatTune anytime you want, because we're doing good things with the money. I don't think we're assholes. I mean, how can you be an asshole with the small amount of money that we make? We actually put it into the show, so it's good. And then, yeah, you should hit us all up on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at JGangsta187. Follow John Regan on Twitter at
Microwave_Dick.
Yes. Follow Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_Legend.
And follow David Fleming, not the winner tonight, on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Yes. So we're going out with bonus tunes. I'm trying to remember what my bonus tunes are. Oh, yeah, that's right. My bonus tunes are fantastic title theme from a game that I almost selected for tonight's show. It's another NES classic. It's the title theme from the Flintstones, The Rescue of Dino and Hoppy. So peace out, everybody!
Oh, nice.
Disney's Tailspin is copyright 1991, The Walt Disney Company and Capcom Company Limited. Metroid 2, Return of Samus is copyright 1991, Nintendo of America Incorporated. Bible Adventures is copyright 1991, Wisdom Tree. Jewel Master is copyright 1991, Sega Games Company Limited. Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge is copyright 1991, LucasArts Entertainment Company LLC.